I said, I want to talk to you.
Fans of TJHooker were disappointed when ABC announced the show would not be renewed. CBS has come to the rescue. The series is back with new episodes this season in a late-night time slot. Star William Shatner had to make a radical character transformation for this police show, which is attracting attention.
Of all the souls I have encountered in my travels, his was the most human.
Most people are used to seeing him commanding a starship in his unforgettable role of Admiral James T. Kirk. William Shatner joins us now from Los Angeles. Bill Shatner, we talked before, so a lot of things we want to talk about. You have with you one of the things that fascinates me. You raised Doberman pinschers. I don't know if the camera can kind of pan down and we'll see him. This is what I think of as an attack dog when I think of Doberman pinschers.
A pack? A pack dog?
An attack dog.
Oh, an attack dog.
You know, security, tough, vicious.
What is wrong? I had a girl. I gave her the secret signal.
Yeah.
Come here, sweetheart. Lie down here.
What are Dobermans like?
Dobermans are the greatest dogs. I was, as a child, I was fascinated by horses and by dogs. All my life dreamt of having them. And the first thing I did when I started to make a home for myself was to acquire dogs that I was not allowed to have as a kid. Same thing went for horses. And Dobermans, for me, are the great breed. They are so intelligent, so loyal, and all the wonderful qualities you wish for dogs. But in addition to that, the aesthetics of the Doberman is what perhaps originally appealed to me. They look marvelous. And that look of fierceness, a lot of people think that they're dangerous. And that helps in their duties that they have at our house, which is guarding. And they're territorial dogs. And therefore, they are protective about their area. But I don't believe they're any more vicious than any large territorial dog.
They're smart.
Extremely.
Yeah. You still raise horses?
And I raise horses. I evolved into American saddlebred horses. I breed them. I have a farm in Kentucky now and some land in Northern California on which I breed my horses. And I ride and train horses at the Los Angeles Equestrian Center here in Los Angeles.
So America wants to know, here you have horses and dogs and ranches and farms in Kentucky, one of the garden spots of the world, bluegrass country.
Bluegrass country.
You know, and so why are you working so hard? I mean, you got enough bucks put away? You got, I mean, what's with you?
Ranches and dogs and horses.
Cost money.
That's why I'm running. Well, I can't not work. It's true that over the years and the amount of work that I have done, I suppose that I could ungracefully retire someplace and perhaps not live in the style I've become accustomed to, but live in some kind of style. But working goes along in some mysterious fashion, which I'll think about later, with dogs and horses. That and children and family, and I sound like an all-American kid, don't I?
It's okay, though. This is America.
Yeah,
you can be an all-American kid.
Except I'm Canadian.
Oh, well, you can be a naturalized American kid.
A naturalized American.
Did you ever become, are you naturalized, or have you
No, I'm still a Canadian.
Yeah, so you don't vote in America?
And I don't vote in Canada, unfortunately. That's one of the problems.
Well, you're un-Canadian, then. I'm
un-American. As a immigrant to America, I'm not able to vote here being a Canadian, and not being resident in Canada, I can't vote in Canada. So I'm somewhat disenfranchised.
I want to take a look at TJHooker one more time. You can find out how you felt when it was canceled and how you feel now that you're with us here on CBS. Bill Shatner, TJHooker. Take a look.
Hooker to control. They've just entered the bank. 2 suspects. Proceed with plan.
Next, please. Good morning.
That's the name for it, baby. Get your hands up. Everybody, shut up and stand still or we'll blow holes in you.
Leonard, stop!
Drop the gun. Move and I'll
an ambulance right away.
Hell, this won't even slow down your chasing girls.
TJHooker, were you disappointed terribly when the ABC didn't renew?
Well, it was quite an extraordinary event. We were leading our time slot. We were starting the Saturday night off for ABC and winning it handily. And suddenly we were canceled. And yes, I was deeply disappointed. It was a shock to all of us. We didn't expect it.
How do they tell you? Do they call you up and say, listen, let's go to dinner, I got to talk to you? Or do you read it in the paper?
Well, it was in between. My friend and manager, Larry Thompson, was notified. And he called me and said, are you sitting down? And I knew what it was, because we were waiting, knowing that the exigencies of show business, we knew that you're not on until you're on. Don't cash the check, cash the check quickly. And bitterly disappointed for about a week. And then I heard rumblings from Columbia. Herman Rush was talking to, head of TV in Columbia, was talking to Harv Shepard of CBS. Right. And lo and behold, we became an experiment in television, an original shows going on late night at 11:30 on Wednesday nights, it so happens. But CBS is trying a noble experiment to raise their ratings, which we have done. And we're your lead-in, as you know. And I hope it does us both good.
I certainly do, too. We'll be back, and we'll talk about that. William Shatner joins us from Los Angeles. Now, how many are you making for CBS? And is it one a week, or are you doing every night? What's the deal?
Well, no. We're doing 17 hours, which should give us 2/3 of a season. And we're doing 1 2-hour movie of the week, which will be on prime time. And that will, I think, give some indication of what our fate will be next year. I mean, the chances are very likely that this year is it, and the noble experiment by Harv Shepard will have played itself out. On the other hand, there is a possibility, because our ratings were so good and continue to be good in its time slot, that if the movie of the week does well in the ratings, there is a possibility that we'll be given renewed life. So we've got our fingers crossed.
Do you like the late night time slot? I mean, is it?
Well, I think it's interesting, to choose a neutral word. I guess I'd much rather be
at 8 a.m. 8 p.m.
A smash success at some hour where more people are watching. But I'm glad to be where we are. I'm happy to be where we are.
I'm here to tell you the late night people are terrific audiences, though. How does it change the show?
Well, we thought to begin with that we could experiment more and be a little more courageous in the subject matters and the treatment thereof, and be a little more violent and show the violence and show the sexuality and show the emotionality, the things that TV likes to see as dramatic. But what we found was that the censors were even more adamant than at ABC. Less gunfire, less blood, less jumping and hitting and running. And so I think what's happened, at least in the first few shows, is more character, more talk, more dramatic situation, which is all right by me. It takes good writing, and that's where every television show wants to put its money and its time, and that's very difficult to find.
Yeah. If you look at the best shows that have been the most successful, the Hallmark, Mary Tyler Moore, all of those shows, Hill Street Blues, St. Elsewhere, it's good writing, unless
everything begins and ends with the word.
Yeah. I can't let you pass without a couple of mentions of Star Trek. Let's take a look at Star Trek, where the world came to know William Shatner.
I have been, and ever shall be, your friend. Yes. Yes, Spock. Ship. Out of danger. You saved the ship. You saved us all. Don't you remember? Jim. Your name is Jim. Yes.
That's a nice moment. That's from what?
That's from the last movie, Star Trek 3.
Are they going to continue forever?
Well, I don't know. We're getting close to beginning Star Trek 4. In fact, today, or was it yesterday, a somewhat frantic call from Leonard Nimoy, who wanted to know when I would be through my shooting schedule on Hooker. That's what we're really waiting for, the script for Star Trek 4 and a shooting date. And it looks like shooting will begin early March, and we will have a Christmas release of Star Trek 4.
Well, what's it like for Bill Shatner, actor, to work with Leonard Nimoy, director?
Well, it was strange. We had been such good pals as actors, and we had fought many a battle with management over what we thought were noble causes, better words, different production, a variety of things. We stood together against management, the eternal struggle between the money and the art, and it's a good struggle. And suddenly my comrade in arms was part of management. He was part of the people I had to struggle against.
He was they. He was them.
That's exactly what, we'll get them, and suddenly he was them. And then I had to say, I'll get you, and it was fine. It was wonderful. We understand each other so well, it's almost comical. Yeah.
So when he talks to you about what he wants, you know what he wants without him
saying, and he knows what my thought process is too, and then we have a few laughs.
Bill Shatner, pleasure to have you, as always. Thank you. Give us a good lean-in, would you?